Okay, this is a Mercury retrograde. Are we doing this again for the third time? Yeah, we are. Wait, can you see me okay? Gosh, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I can see you. Hi everybody, it's Trixie Little. This is Artists in the Wild. This is the first episode of season 5 in 2026. You're the fire horse, baby. We're coming in hot. I'm excited to give you the update on what I've been up to. I'm excited to start this season out. We got the props out. We got some jewelry that we finally found in the back of the damn storage unit. Things are happening over here, everybody. It's going really good. I hope you're having a great start to your 2026. I just wanted to, it's like I kept trying to get situated. I haven't had Wi-Fi. I've been on the road a lot, moving around, and I wanted to kind of get settled and do like a big edited episode to start this out. And it just is not happening. It's also Mercury retrograde right now. So, these are the lessons. You just got to go with whatever's happening, because usually it takes you to where you want to go in a better way, but it just is often disguised as inconvenience. So I get really excited actually about Mercury retrogrades, because I'm like, all right, let's go. What are we going to work on? I think the work is fun, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with people. I mean, I say all the time, sometimes there are people that I'm like, God, they really need to do the work. The work. Here's a little secret about the work, is that it's really fun. I think it's fun. There's some hard parts, but if you just look at your life as the greatest adventure and you're literally trying to just write a page turner of a life, so it's gonna have some highs and lows, and to see the beauty in them as well is really, I'm getting there, because I was very upset when I came back here, and I still all my stuff's been in storage. It's almost going to be 3 years now since I lost my studio out here in Northern California, and I haven't been able to get really up on my feet, partly because I'm trying to rebuild my career and I'm not just taking jobs. I'm trying to be in service to my calling and listen to my soul. And we have a pretty good relationship now, which we did not always. So, but she'll let me know when it's a hard no. It's like my whole insides start to tighten up. It's like a very physical feeling. So I've just chosen to listen to her, but it's gotten me into some complicated situations, like living in my truck in Northern California during the fall and winter, which, a lot of it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. So I took some time to go down to the desert to see one of my best friends for a month, and that was great. And then I went to go to Reno to help another one of my friends, one of my closest friends too. That was awesome. And then I had to drive a friend down, like way out, whatever. He needed a ride, so I gave him a ride. So I've had these 3 opportunities to help my friends out and see parts of this beautiful out west. I never get tired of exploring out here. It's so beautiful once you get out of the cities and stuff, even though Reno's cool. Reno's an underdog city. I love an underdog city. They're really great. So that's what's been going on, just making the gold out of the shit, you guys. I decided to just love my situation, that I chose it. I was like, I'm gonna love this no matter what. I'm choosing it. It's gonna be a funny chapter in the memoirs. And not gonna feel shame about it or inconvenienced. I'm just gonna laugh about it. So that's what I've been doing, and surprise, it works. So I thought I'd just give you all a little refresher. I have a very impressive outline here that of stuff I wanted to cover.
Oh.
I'm just gonna remind you of the basics here. I feel like, you know, it's the start of a new season. Also, I'm really hoping this is the season that's gonna grow. I'm really counting on my friend, the Ask Studio AI of YouTube, who I call Stuart. I'm really relying on Stuart to, get this channel cooking here. So we're gonna just cover the basics in this episode, and then I have some fun footage which I've been collecting on all my travels. So first, let's start with the who. Welcome. You guys should know me by now if you're returning. I'm Trixie Little. I'm a performer, a cabaret performer. I'm an artist, specifically a painter, illustrator, and I'm a writer. I write about spirituality, the creative process, living an artist's life. I write poetry and weird little songs. I'm just a creative writer and also a documenter of my very unconventional life as a 51-year-old, haven't given up yet, pulled out of society because it was so insane and demonic, got my coherence back, got my health back, got a lot of just my soul back from the overculture, and I've been living in a very squeezed, nomadic, even monastic kind of a life the last few years. So I partly live in my truck. Lately though, I've been living with friends for extended stays, kind of like doing these artist retreats for 2 to 4 weeks at my friends' places, and gosh, I'm having fun so far, you guys. 2026 has just been great. It's great. You know, I get to see a new area, and sometimes I'm returning, so it's been fun going back down to the desert, reconnecting with those people in that land. It's just been good fun. I'm really excited about this year. I think the fire horse thing is right on. It's like feeling real Sagittarius energy out, like just a lot of travel so far, but also just feeling like I'm in service and it feels so good, like I'm helpful to people, and I have the freedom to do that because I'm just living this weird life right now. Of course, you know, it causes me great anguish sometimes. I don't like vehicle life. I don't really romanticize it. I don't think anyone should have to live like that because it really only works if you have a landing pad. I mean, in my case, I have the storage unit, so I'm trying to get it organized enough to work out of, but it's like there's just too much stuff, so it's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. It's just really frustrating because I can't seem to get even like a table surface cleaned off because there's not enough shelving and there's not enough places to put things, and everything's kind of exploded out of their boxes because I've had this storage unit now. It's going to be 3 years since I lost my studio out here in Nevada City in the Sierra foothills between Sacramento and Reno, the place I love. And we know what's happened everywhere. The prices have gone insane. Just all the revelations coming out about what's been going on in this dumb world as we are coming out of this Kali Yuga. But you guys, I want to talk about it. I talk about it honestly because you have to build on like a pure heart, a real solid foundation. And you just can't do that if you're in denial, lying to yourselves about stuff, not seeing the trickery, the deception. Part of you knows that we've all been deceived, and I always joke about it. I say they're trying to kill us and we've been lied to about everything. But even me, I mean, it sounds cynical to say that, but even me, I've been surprised at like the things that keep being revealed and just how painful it is, and it has to be grieved and mourned. And that's really the spiritual part, you know, the turning shit to gold, that I think as an artist, that's what we do. That's what artists, you know, show us how to do, how to make everything, use it to our advantage, whether it's for creativity. I mean, that's the best way I like to alchemize stuff for sure, is just create something delightful, mesmerizing, enchanting, not just mesmerizing, but like deeply reflective, something that pulls you in with pathos and poetry and just the real, sexy juiciness of life. So I've been truck life in it still very much longing for a place of my own. But something shifted, I guess, after the holidays, where I was just like, I'm gonna love this no matter what. I chose to stay out here because even though I can't afford it, this is where I want to be. And I'm like, okay, it's crazy right now. A lot of infiltration from the Bay, a lot of like changing things. Like there's a housing crisis, and yet half the homes are empty because they're all like second vacation homes for rich people from the Bay. It's like, it's really dumb. And I'm just like, all right, I'll wait. You know, I'm just gonna wait because I love it here, and I've been on this whole roller coaster with this place. But you guys, when you fall in love with a place, I mean, I've traveled a lot in my burlesque performing career. I mean, I traveled the world, and there was like a lot of cities that we would return to a couple times a year, every year, like Key West, Denver, went to Chicago, not a ton, but enough to have some friends from there. And yeah, even other places, London, a lot in Australia. And the thing that I just love about these places, it's like when it makes me realize when I really connect to a place, because I've seen so much, I'm like, oh, like this is like, oh, maybe I have past life connections here, or there's something out here, there's some work to be done with the land, or my energy is needed. And so I think about like putting myself in service, you know, to my life. My life is dedicated to the culture. Okay, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. It seems that one of my neighbors is also using their storage unit as a shop, which I guess is preferable to the people that are like just full on living out of it, which I saw a lot in New York actually. But yeah. So when we left off, I was about to introduce myself to the new viewers. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so excited that this is the 5th season, because I gave up on this show actually. So here's a little history of Artists in the Wild, is that I wanted to have a YouTube channel that was really sustainable for me, which meant that it would have to follow my actual life, and I'd have to be doing my normal projects and living my normal life. So I was like, the only way that it could be sustainable is if I was just taking everybody along with me in my quirky artist life. And I think that's really valuable also because my favorite artists, the ones that, you know, had diaries published or wrote books themselves, or just leave a living story of their lives, of how they lived and what they were about and how it played out in their life and everything. I love that. Like, I have immersed myself in, biographies of artists mainly. I'm getting back to fiction, I will say. It's interesting because I was just talking about this to a friend the other day, and maybe you find this too, because I think it's related to social media and our like digital addictions. I think I've slowed my life down enough, you know, and even being in my truck where I typically am in bed, you know, pretty early because it gets dark pretty early. Like 4:35, it was getting dark around there. It's like, you know, I'd be asleep sometimes by 7:30 because it's just so dark. You just kind of go with the light. But anyway, I'm finally reading fiction again, and it feels great. It's been a while, and I think I just didn't have the bandwidth. I couldn't go that deep for a little while there. But anyway, even through all that, I was stockpiling myself with information, and much of my obsessions were around artists and artists' lives. That's the point of the story. Then I thought also it was named Artists in the Wild because I had a studio out in the Sierra foothills, like literally in the middle of a forest. And then when I lost my studio after a natural disaster, 3 weeks of snowmageddon, flooding, couldn't pay my rent, new owner, got evicted, stuff went in storage, super depressed, tried a bunch of other stuff, decided to come back here and make it work. But in between then, I was like, I spent a year out in Baltimore, back where I'm from, just kind of being like, I guess you gotta go home now, and that's how it goes when you just, you know, try to follow your dream and it doesn't work out. Like, and then I sat around there thinking I was like see my family or friends, and was literally alone all the time. All I got was fat and depressed. And so I kind of just I came out here, and you know, I've just been trying to help people and make it work in the meantime, while I'm still trying to get a studio of my own again. And you know, the world crumbling has not helped at all. So that's where we're at. So this is just like a real slice of life from a very spiritual and very seasoned artist. I've done a lot of things in my years, my 51 years, and I'm not done yet, you know? So I like to think that, you know, I also help motivate people to really go after their dreams and to live more boldly. That's why I share this. That's why I consider it a spiritual teaching, because I'm like, if you use what I say and the example of my life, you know, as a spiritual example of me trying to be in integrity, but also, you know, have fun. Just, it's taken me a while to pull out of the overculture and to get my coherence back, my intuition, my communication with nature and trees. And you know, and it's weird when that stuff starts coming back online, because it does. It's real. And it's gonna happen to you. I wouldn't wish my life on anybody. It's been so challenging, you know, just having to continually soften my heart. You know, just the past 10 years, it's been, and I think we've all been through it, but I've really been through it too. And I'm still very optimistic, and I'm still, you know, as I said in the first episode of season 4, I laid out my whole plan. And it's a re-enchantment of the world, which means that our two-way relationship with all of the creatures of this beautiful earth, when we get that back, that's the enchantment. That's the, like, everything is in communication with each other. And then things start working again, like where, yes, our thoughts can go back to like manifesting our reality, when we aren't like have all these like background programs and constant demonic attacks and addictions and horrible habits and, you know, whatever, all the things. It's been a whole experience, one that I share. I also have a Substack related to this where I put it into words, kind of just processing what's going on with me and what I think the spiritual lesson is. I live my life in a certain way so that I can still receive a lot of creativity and use my imagination. And I do think it's kind of just channeling. And, you know, and that we can do it in different ways. But like I said, I share it so that you have some sense of what it might look like should this happen to you. Should you go and live your life so radically alive and aligned, so we can then rebuild the culture, which was the other part of my outline. So we have like the re-enchantment. Then we have the Renaissance. The Renaissance is a rebirth, of course, of culture. Culture is the soil our consciousness grows in. This is the dream material that we imagine the world with. And then after that, we've got the, and then the arts. The arts make up the culture. What else can I tell you? Yeah, so this season, you know, I'm going to continue doing the same things where I'm kind of putting out some artistic projects that I'm working on related to performances, which hopefully like the first one, which was just some video footage I got when I was in the desert. Super cool. Just the landscape. It was like, I called it a labyrinth, but it's actually, I was corrected, it's a spiral. Labyrinth has 2 spiral just goes in. Anyway, so check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm practicing my big bubble shtick, trying to get some performing work doing big bubbles, and I have a bubble mentor who's helping me out, but I was excited to get a little short teaser video together, but it turned into an art project too. So check that out. And then I've also got, I'll be doing just scuttlebutts. We're going to count this as a scuttlebutt where I'm just talking off the cuff, just a talking head at the camera. And then I'll be doing edited episodes about my adventures and travels and whatnot in between. So that's what's on the menu. We are now in season 5. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We got the reenchantment, we got the Renaissance, we got the culture, we got all the arts like within the culture. And did I mention that it really needs to be, when we rebuild the culture, heart has to be pure. You can't sell out in any way. It can't be for money. It has to be for love. And that is, I've been surprised how much I've had to strip back and how much like programming and conditioning and weird past whatevers and just things I had to get over. You know, it's a bit of work. But it's fun, like I said. And I mentioned Substack, right? About how I'm writing over there, and you should definitely check that out. I just went on, because often, even if I can't get to YouTube videos, often I can get to Substack and write an update about what's going on. So if you're really curious, you know, and you miss me, sign up for both. There's free option. I don't hold back really, except the paid membership is the way to support me. That is, you know, about my life. So if you're really, really, really just enjoying what I'm doing and all the stories I'm sharing about my weird, wonderful ways, way of being, you know, those are your options. So thank you so much for being here. We're off to a really grand start. I'm Trixie Little. This is Artist in the Wild. Ow!